Mr. Roshenko and your team, you are to beam over to their station.
But don't try anything I wouldn't do already.
Also, with Tendi away on her reunion mission with her old crew, you won't have anyone to talk to.
Yes, we will be successful. There aren't many Blue Gills there.
And if there are, you're fully inoculated.
Prepare to transport.
Energize.
The station appears to be abandoned. Perhaps. But I'm receiving a life sign reading. Perhaps the source of the transmission we received. I'm detecting at least 2 signs over there. Faint. No known humanoid life signs, just critters. Not more of those parasites from the Tribble planet. Some of those signals did appear to come from them. Could be voles or rats or something. With the ability to send a subspace message. Very smart rats, with opposable thumbs and the ability to do things. Augmented rats, come on. Shush, I hear something. Whatever it is behind this door. It has forced it closed. It's been barricaded to keep someone in or keep something out. Great. Molly, what are you doing here? And Miral Paris?
And not a space station. The last place you'd expect to find me, little brother. We were hiding from the beasts. Did you see any?
Beasts? No, not yet. But we did detect non-human creatures. We did not detect you both, though. Well, we do now. The door must have been shielded.
Well, now that you showed up, they might.
They wouldn't by chance be scurrying little things that can crawl inside your body and take over your head?
Yeah, how'd you guess?
One of them was 8 feet tall and 14 feet wide. It had infested a Tribble. A very big Tribble.
Oh, wow, that's weird, little brother. But how can we be sure you are you?
You will have to trust us for now. Where's Ops Control?
It's back that way up 2 levels.
Let's go then. Their captain must have bagged one.
Yeah, where is he?
I assumed you knew. What happened here?
We were looking for time and space stuff, you know, TMS. And change the channel stuff, you know, CA. They're not going to know what any of that is. We were scavenging. Our ship is connected to Loading Bay 4.
Why? Starfleet can provide you with anything. Some people just want to be privateers. Is there a reason to find this TMS and alert their Cillians to your presence? This was one of the Martial Sportiest stations.
We didn't deface the sign outside. It was like that when we got here.
Yes, it used to say lighthouse, but now it says light-ho. How mature of them.
We came here and figured we could get in and out before they left, but found out why they abandoned it. An infestation of creepy crawlies.
It is too bad they sabotaged the computer. The map table has a blade stuck in it. It is not functioning. Forward scan. I'm afraid your cat, Gay Kitty, is deceased. It is regrettable that my cat, Gay Kitty, died without honor. Talisman, there's nothing I can do for the cat. What is this?
Log entries from the captain.
The cargo containers were infested. See if he opened one of them. It got him right in the face. The doc tried to sedate him and get the thing off, but it got aggressive and entered his mouth. Then it took him over. Handsome, then shot him. Killed him instantly. Forward scan. One of them killed our cat. She fended it off until the end, but then it was over. Laura ran for the frying pan, but then she bashed the creature's head. She went nuts and ran off. Okay, scan on ahead. Laura and I argued with the crew about what to do next. I continued with the logs. We weren't supposed to be put in charge of the station after TMS left it. Well, the last transmission's next. The crew has gone nuts and is blaming each other for the deaths of hundreds of us. We're going to abandon the station and put a beacon warning us not to come here. If anyone finds the message, nuke the station and get the frack out of here. Go warn Starfleet Command. End transmission. Did you know that Shadow Dancer was here? He was an ex-Martial Sportiest. Why was he in command of one of their chief stations?
We wanted to, since he was part of TMS, but we never found him.
Who is Laura?
His wife, I guess, but I thought her name was Angelica. Must have been someone else.
That is his ex-wife. He may be on the station with his new wife. We must scan for him. Well, he's really the only clue we have about all this. At last, people my age. Sort of. I was so lonely. You know what it's like being so alone.
Ah, Qute Jr. I should have known.
You should have. But only because you were part of that other station. What brings you here? You doctored the message to lure us here, Q. Were you really lonely? The Q gave the Cillians powers when they were mere children. Are you going to give us powers? No, I cannot do that. My friend called Critical Vitriol is an overlord. He and I broke reality. You could... No, you must. Help fix it. He's still out there.
You let the Blue Gills appear all over the local galaxy, didn't you?
Started off as a harmless thought, a prank. It had been decades since the Blue Gill had been around, and they were long forgotten. So we kind of resurrected them. Oh God, you didn't send them to the Martial Sportiest colonies for a prank, did you? We were stoned. Very high. Space weed man. We wished to send them to all of the Channel Network planets. Because we hated them. And now we can't reverse it. Roshenko to Chimera. We request immediate beam out. We have a situation here. Oh, no, you can't go. I'm not finished with my rant. Communications have gone down, sir. In light of the complete mental instabilities of TMS and CA, and their supporters over the last few months, the attacks on Shadow Dancer and Laura's families, attacking journalists, cyberbullying their own fans, mocking Laura Talisman's grief, mocking Shadow Dancer's dead cat, for instance, I pass this hearing to order. Ha!
Where is Shadow Dancer? Are we still on the station? Why does this always happen to me?
I'd say it's bad luck, but it's happening to me too. This is not an illusion or an imagined deck. All this does is promote more TMS misinformation. And from CA. And harassment.
Whatever this is Qute Jr. put us in, it does seem like an Imagine deck.
I don't know what's happening, but Q put us in this place. Oh, critical Vitriol's actions explain why I had a problem with TMS from the beginning. They were too joyous about pain. Some kind of test by Qute. We must beat him and escape.
They behaved like a bunch of middle school kids dogpiling on someone they used to hang out with, and then tried to get a bunch of supporters to egg them on.
What's happening? You're asking me? It looks like a Cillian convention. Or a cult meeting.
Wait a minute, I was on leave having a reunion with you. What are we doing here?
It's a convention. I love those. Well, the season's over, so might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, your show's over for the season, but ours is just beginning. For gratuitous cameos by the cast of Lower Decks.
You wouldn't have it any other way, darling.
I'll put a bat'leth in it.
To think I took the name Mariner instead of you taking Boimler.
It's easier to say.
True that. Stop it. Back to my story. Critical Vitriol uploaded this about time and space. I myself haven't seen it yet, but can't wait to hear what he has to say about TMS. Why should we care? What is this place? I don't know. It might be of interest to anyone who's an ex-Martial Sportiest who might enjoy watching it.
Or to give us an I told you so feeling.
It reminds me of grade school and middle school when I was picked on mercilessly all the time. You don't know anything. You're stupid. Ha ha ha. Well, if you can't do anything right, serves right. Ha ha.
Yep, seems about right.
I liked Shadow Dancer, Phalos, and Miral the most.
What? I didn't think you cared.
Wait, I liked her the most. I stuck with her through the Spoonie controversy. I think Time and Space TV sided with her in that incident, too.
What incident? Oh, that. I was horribly abused verbally that time. I left because of Metador's behavior, but not to me.
Time and Space Network may have been insensitive to her, but Martial Sportiest was not entirely to blame for what happened to her.
I want to put more admirals in my videos. You can't do that. I'll sue you.
All right. You can put Adderalls in the videos.
She didn't even post anything there for a month.
I know, because I checked Martial Sportiest each day and didn't see her on there. But her videos did appear on Phalos. Okay, fine. So, Miral was kicked out of Martial Sportiest, and she called it an injustice.
I have compiled this grievance document about awesome channels.
Ah, so that's what Tendi got the idea to form that awesome channel document. Most of the 70-page document contained merely complaints.
It contains everything about the company, even minor infractions.
So the 70-page document of complaints and fluff led to Twitter outrage, which spread all over the internet, and people demanded that Martial Sportiest and Awesome Channel be destroyed. Get him, oh yeah, get him, yeah, get him, get him.
They're like a bunch of kids ganging up on the fillets, like it's an old friend they want to get rid of.
Beating up on an old friend turned enemy is dishonorable. They pick apart everything the fillets do, because it's easy, when all the while there were some materially bad things the Martial Sportiest and the Awesome Channel small businesses did over the years. The non-complete contract they had Molly sign was far and away the worst. The other two also involved Molly because she was their employee, and they had a responsibility, unlike to the random internet people who just shared their videos through Martial Sportiest or Awesome Channel, but were not real employees. Now, when the controversy was going down, I thought Time and Space Network should just apologize for not doing a good enough job for everyone. That's why you're here, to get some answers. Seems they were pushing them too hard when they made too boldly flee. Miral wanted an apology is all, so apologize.
I'm guessing Time and Space couldn't apologize for legal reasons.
Or because the situation was blown so out of proportion it pissed them off. Either way, I can't say I'm angry at them. I mean, think about it. Time and Space at its peak had 100 contributors, and then would send their questions and complaints to one person, Metador.
But here we are, and Time and Space never apologized.
But I like to act like a spoiled brat schoolchild, wouldn't you? They should have apologized, but didn't. Why? Because the TMS crowd are a bunch of jerks who act like the kids having fun attacking someone and having their stupid high school clique drama be a public spectacle. Yes, you're acting like a bunch of a-holes, as Mr. Vitriol here demonstrates. So, an opportunity to have a legit discussion with both sides, something the TMS folks preached, is what they wanted. Get slapped down by the guy who was the most irrelevant to the time and space drama. Qute Jr. can go frack himself. I beg your pardon?
Yep, Qute Jr. got in the way of a potential discussion between Time and Space, Awesome Channel, and Martial Sportiest, even after previously stating that he wanted the discussion.
I criticized CV's lack of professionalism, but to go frack myself? I tried that. It wasn't very satisfying.
That's hilarious when you consider the way you behave when people disagree with you.
The biggest disappointment is Miral's horrible behavior. This was so hard to hear because I do like her Charmed content, and she seemed like the kind of person you just want to chill and joke with. But of course, looks can be deceiving.
I get that she's upset about her time with Time and Space, but that was over 6 years ago. It's true. She needs to move on now.
I don't understand the Shadow Dancer controversy, but she needs to move on and do her own stuff.
What would you know about it?
You're just shooting yourself in the foot. Yes, she is being a selfish brat. As a person who used to defend her on here, I understand the disappointment. Her followers, and then she, would have ripped your head off.
I could knock his head off, if I could get to a weapon.
She's once again become the person she doesn't like.
These people, including CV, are the most catty, persnickety group I've ever met.
Yes, that is the takeaway from this. I consider these people were irrational and irritating and need to get on with their lives. I may have to give you all detention. What is this place? Looks like a reading area on some planet. Qute's creation, so... yeah.
His idea of detention, and we're in it.
That makes me the rebel. I like it. I must be the nerd. I can only imagine the bullying comments made by the ex-TMS crew in response. However, like the critical vitriol, I no longer pay any attention to those people, except maybe when they're mentioned.
The best part is Q's wife is making people flag the video. Then I must be the basket case. But the best part is Qute Jr.'s wife is begging people to flag the video. Then I must be the drama queen. But CV had no problem giving Time and Space airtime before.
I gave them the treatment they deserved. Every former COL person should check into therapy. But I already imagine you have.
This is all ridiculous fantasy. Everyone here needs a timeout.
Despite not wanting to work with Roshenko, some of his friends are still with him. I tried to get Awesome Channel and Time and Space together. It didn't work. They wanted a group chat with Awesome Channel and Time and Space. I told them I wanted to have a meeting to discuss all this. Shadow Dancer's friend initiated the contact. It didn't go well. The only one that had an issue was you, Qute Jr. I had a positive friendship with Qute Jr. I thought they were friends due to an errant retweet.
Miral and her friends did everything to avoid addressing it. Molly and the others don't know why they turned on Aster. They still wanted to be friends, including his wife.
I tried to be polite, but it comes out rude. Yes, he is not professional. He's rude to his followers. I guess I'm the sensitive type, but not one way or the other.
We stopped playing the character game a long time ago, little brother.
You were telling dark jokes. You were telling death threats as a joke and got suspended. Qute Jr. never apologized for the death threat joke. Meaningless considering that I can restore anyone I kill back to life, like nothing happened. What happened?
Qute Jr. wasn't allowed to talk about how he mistreated his followers.
Well, I wasn't allowed either. I was canceled. No, you weren't. You just didn't want to take responsibility for anything. I didn't think I actually knew CV. No, but you knew Awesome Channel.
I didn't know how much Qute Jr. was involved either.
Lord Talisman was criticized for saying change the channel thing was over. Perhaps we should watch some of Vitriol's stuff in action for ourselves.
He's a mess mentally. Qute Jr. brought him here to debate, apparently.
I'm assuming you are distancing yourself from people like Vitriol.
But then you would get into arguments with others, and turn and block them. But then you would get into arguments with others and immediately turn and block them.
They accused Aster of being COL, or alter, or a spy, and blocked them. How come everybody who knew Mike Fillet got in trouble, but not Molly? Mike Fillet was so distraught, he used his Sicilian Q powers to off himself. Before that, he was being a toss-a jerk to everybody. A lot happened in between there before they banished him. But you let him act out. You let him. What? I was never in charge of him. But Qute Jr. knew this realm could bring him back and did nothing. I was exiled too, but now I've escaped. Come here to tell funny jokes. We are uncomfortable with your involvement after your exile. I made a joke about suicidal thoughts after it happened, and they dogpiled on me. How is he here with us?
He appears as a Klingon male, and he's not an illusion.
I criticized how Miral distanced herself from me while going public about Qute Jr., while spreading rumors about Shadow Dancer, and being quite vocal about him, time and space, and it isn't necessary. It also explains how Shadow Dancer could be telling the truth about swatting claims. It wasn't swatting.
I was just trying to get him blocked.
Her defense for all of the hypocrisy is that she has mental health issues and has attempted suicide in the past.
I'm a grown-ass woman, and I was getting awards when Kiriyoshi was still in diapers.
That is true, but we love you. You can believe me or her or Qute Jr. I'll be here for a while. He's obnoxious. He tried to get our videos flagged after all that. He responded to all the criticism then with insults. This guy is so obnoxious. I've got gay friends and black friends, so I can tell edgy jokes.
Please, spare us. Desperate attempts to justify edgy humor is annoying.
I'm not annoyed, just dumbfounded that anyone would find that funny in the first place. I see why he's annoyed about the situation, but he should have dropped it a long time ago.
It's boring melodrama. It's like he's feeding into it from everywhere.
Yeah, doubling down on his bad jokes. He's hackneyed. Makes me not want to continue. And also, he's cowardly to say things like that. Well, frack, it's all about context. You see, I can use the F word. Well, there's a difference between using the F word as a joke and using it as an insult. I never said using the F word was okay. Well, I pass judgment for this section then. Well then, ha! Oh, I can't wait to see my own videos. It might be of interest for anyone who is against TMS who gets a I told you so feeling. In light of the complete mental instabilities of TMS and their CA and their supporters over the last several years, the attacks on Shadow Dancer, Laura's families, attacking journalists, cyberbullying their own fans, mocking Laura Talisman's grief, mocking Shadow Dancer's dead cat and stuff. All this is doing is promoting more TMS misinformation.
Please, let us go. It's been proven the video log has lies in it already.
Agreed. When it was seen as a noble cause, having a story on it was great, but this has all changed due to the recent actions of those still in the movement. Critical Vitriol explains why I had a problem with TMS and Awesome Channel from the beginning. They were too joyous about others' pain.
They behaved like a bunch of middle school kids dogpiling on someone they used to hang out with, and then they got a bunch of supporters to egg them on. It drew me into being like an elementary middle school student again, and people making fun of me. Hey, wait a minute, this is being repeated, but something's changed.
Oh, you're so stupid. Look, you can't do anything right. The situation, literally anything this person does, will be wrong. Ha!
The TMS people acted the same way toward the fillets. I didn't even like the fillets. Most out of the Martial Sportiest producers.
I liked Shadow Dancer, Miral, and Paris the most. Did I do this? I watched Miral maybe the most, and sided with her during the Spoonie controversy. This is not time travel. I sided with her in the controversy of time and space as well. It seems we're just repeating, but some roles are changed. Anyway, fast forward a couple of years, and Miral is acting like she was horribly abused by time and space, when she really wasn't. Time and space may have been insensitive to her, but nothing bad happened to her at Martial Sportiest. I can do ad rolls. I don't want you to do any more. He backed off. He did back off, but then she made it clear that she didn't want to be on the site anymore. What? She didn't post anything for months. I checked it out. It seems legit. But this time-space jump is not my doing. I know, but I checked also. Time and space sites do not have her on.
So Martial Sportiest kicked her out. She acted like it was an injustice. I did, but they did. I still don't know what's going on with this time jump. It's been several years, and I wish to make a document explaining my grievances.
She did air her grievances, but the accumulation of them built up. So then outraged people get involved, and they want Awesome Channel and Martial Sportiest to be destroyed. Not all of them are enraged. Some of them are ganging up because it's fun. Qute, you really are an ass. They pick apart everything the fillets do because it's easy. Well, all the while, there may be materially bad things the Martial Sportiest and the Awesome Channel small business did over their years. That non-complete contract they had Molly sign was the worst, incidentally.
The other two also involved me because I was their actual employee, and they had responsibility, unlike to the random internet people who just shared their videos through Martial Sportiest or Awesome Channel, but weren't really employees.
Now, with the controversy was going down, I thought Time and Space should just apologize for not doing a good enough job for everyone. Sure, they didn't please everyone enough. What was the name of that film? Too Boldly Go?
Too Boldly Flee. Miral just wanted an apology.
So, fine, apologize. I'm guessing Time and Space didn't apologize for legal reasons, or because the situation was being blown up so out of proportion it pissed them off.
Either way, I can't say I'm angry at them. I mean, think about it. Time and Space at its peak had 100 contributors, and all of them would send their questions and complaints to one person, Mike Matador. He isn't going to help. But here we are. Time and Space made some mistakes. Should have apologized, but didn't. Why? Because the TMS crowd are a bunch of jerks who act like they're kids, having fun attacking someone and making their stupid high school clique drama be a public spectacle.
Yeah, these people would turn out to be a bunch of a-holes. Mr. Vitriol here demonstrates that. So, an opportunity to have a legit discussion with both sides, something the TMS folks preached, is what they wanted. Get slapped down by the guy who was the most irrelevant to the time and space drama. Qute Jr. got in the way of a potential discussion between Time and Space, Martial Sportiest, and Awesome Channel. Qute Jr. was the one that was telling all the gay and ripe and stereotype jokes.
I had no care for Vitriol's mental health when he was getting unnecessarily attacked and was hypocritical. I'm sorry. Such as publicly tweeting that you were distancing yourself from people like Vitriol, then immediately jumping into arguments with others and blocking them. Time and Space gets crap for knowing about Mike Fillet and not telling anyone, but I also knew about Mike Fillet and got a free pass. Look, I said some dumb things I didn't mean back then. You're all old enough to know better. We're not all children here. I am, for instance, quite a bit older than you.
The ex-contributors and their friends messaged me after the documentary, praising the efforts. Critical Vitriol posted a tweet about his suicidal thoughts the day after his big argument with Molly, Qute Jr., and Miral, and their followers dogpiled on him.
Vitriol criticized how Miral distanced herself from him for going public about Qute Jr. while spreading rumors about Shadow Dancer and being quite vocal about him in Time and Space when it isn't necessary.
I was almost swatted. I'm telling the truth about that. The desperate attempts to justify his edgy humor were annoying. I'm not offended, just dumbfounded that anyone would think anything that lazy was funny in the first place. I can see that he's irritated about the whole thing, but he should have dropped it a long time ago. It's a bunch of bullshit melodrama from everyone. He's barely even better at continuing to feed it into so much. Yeah, the doubling down on the bad jokes was just so hackneyed. Made me not want to watch it. And cowardly to say crap like that so people could come down on him.
What's the intent of using the F word?
There's a huge difference between using the F word as a joke and using it as an insult. He never said using the F word was okay because he has gay friends.
So you're saying that he was accused of being homophobic, but then after he claimed he had gay friends, it was okay. Ridiculous.
You don't have to like his jokes. In fact, you don't have to like any jokes. But you can't tell them what jokes they can or can't say. I also doubt he has gay friends. But the issues he had with Qute Jr. and Molly and Miral and their followers after their fallout has weighed heavily on his head and has severely affected him mentally. He disproved a lot of the allegations against him and moved on. I'm only 28 minutes in, and most of it is Vitriol justifying his right to tell lame jokes by adding clips of funnier comedians being edgy. Qute Jr. got in the way of a discussion between Martial Sportiest, Time and Space, and Awesome Channel. Well, I thought I'd liven up the party by telling crude jokes. You know, racial stereotype jokes, gay jokes, and rape jokes. I think you're lacking in professional decorum. That's hilarious considering how you speak to people you don't like. This is also the same guy that took a day off work because Vitriol's documentary made him so emotional he'd lost sleep over it and had to call in sick. The biggest disappointment was Miral's bad behavior. That was so hard to hear because I do like her charmed content, and she seemed like the kind of person you just want to chill and joke with. But of course looks can be deceiving. I did not follow her until I realized what she was like. The tweets. I got that she's upset about her time with Time and Space, but that was over 6 years ago. She's got to move on now.
I don't understand the Shadow Dancer controversy, but still she needs to move on and focus on her own stuff.
As a person who used to defend her on here, I understand the disappointment. The worst part about it is if you said what you said about her on social media, she'd rip your head off.
I will consider removing his head at the next possible convenience.
He is in critical vitriol, not me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The irony is that her TMS video, she said she stopped talking about it for a long time because it was making her bitter. She didn't like the person she was becoming.
Now she's once again become the person she didn't like.
All of these people, critical vitriol included, are the cattiest, most persnickety, sensitive bunch of folks I've ever seen. Yeah, that's a big takeaway from this. I found myself considering everyone here immensely irrational, immature, and unlikable. I'd give them all detention, but I tried that last time and it didn't work. Yes, this timeline's not an exact continuation of events. I can only imagine the bullying comments made by ex-TMS people in response. Yes, but except for critical vitriol, I rarely pay attention to anyone commenting here. The best part is Qute Jr.'s wife is begging people to flag the video. Qute Jr., Miral, critical vitriol, and everyone that still talks about TMS, check into therapy and leave. I can't believe we're still listening to these guys, even after the small snippets of video we watched. Despite how awful it was working with Roshenko, you're still here with him. Yes, that is why I came here too. Shadow Dancer's friend initiated contact with critical vitriol to try and get Time and Space and TMS together. Most contributors that I spoke to had agreed to meeting. The only one that had an issue was Qute Jr. by ending his friendship, even though he said he wanted a group chat with Time and Space and TMS.
You were never going to mediate such a meeting. You're deluded, sir.
Vitriol proved the positive friendship with Qute Jr., which ruined their argument that Vitriol thought they were friends due to a retweet. All based on a message error. Ridiculous. When this was put onto Twitter, Miral and TMS supporters did everything they could to avoid addressing it. I wanted to be professional, but he was rude to his followers and blocked them for no reason. I was criticized by TMS for telling dark jokes, even though Qute Jr. got suspended for telling a death threat as a joke, and never said sorry for it or admitted any fault. Yeah, well, they take threats seriously. You weren't allowed to talk about how I mistreated you and your followers, but they can talk about their mistreatment at Awesome Channel.
I said that Vitriol didn't have much contact with the ex-contributors, which turned out to be false. I also told Aster that I didn't really know Qute Jr., but I also said only she spoke to him during his time at Awesome Channel.
Regardless if the stories were true or not, they weren't fact-checked. Laura Talisman was criticized for saying her issues with TMS didn't matter. But he is, and to all this, it is imperative that the hearing determine who is behind this and how they mess with entropy here. I would not use the N-word because racial jokes are bad, but I don't mind going after just about any other thing. It's because I know of black people. Are you tripping?
Lee doesn't know any black people.
I am 1/3 black Klingon, so there. For frack's sake, he uses a Tom MacDonald song to justify why he shouldn't have to say he's sorry for making rape jokes and saying homo in videos. Time and space owes everyone an apology for trying to run a business.
Your jokes in the videos were homophobic and not funny.
Debasing others for gender, race, or religion isn't funny.
I still think it's absurd that he claims he has gay friends.
You don't have to like my jokes, in fact. You don't have to like anybody's jokes. But you can't tell me what jokes I can't make. Why, if a G.I. Joe went up a guy's bum and they got stuck, like on Jackass? Yeah. Or what if two Siamese cats were racist? That's not even a series of jokes. References aren't jokes. But the issue is had with Qute Jr. for 2 years now, with Molly and Miral and their followers after the fallout less than 2 years ago, has weighed heavily on his head and has severely affected him mentally. I disprove the allegations against me and want to move on. The aliens aren't coming any closer. Do not worry. How is it that he knows about the invaders? I have control of them. Qute Jr. only thinks he does. Now stay and listen to me rant. After this, I will release you. See, now I will quote from the Kings of Comedy, where they were all very funny. I'm there too, but most of it is Vitriol justifying his right to tell lame jokes by adding clips of funnier comedians being edgy.
For frack's sake, he uses a Tom MacDonald song to justify what he shouldn't have to say he's sorry for making rape jokes and saying homo. This from the guy who made an hour-plus long video saying time and space owes everyone an apology for trying to run a business.
I would watch it, but I'm too worn out by watching Red Letter Media to care. Some key points included not fact-checking the homophobic video. He's a drama critic, blowing this out of proportion.
Q, look who's talking.
But it does raise a lot of concerns about what else could have been blown out of proportion, like abuse or assault allegations. I wasn't the one who did it. Don't kill the messenger. I was merely there to destroy Time and Space Channel, and I did because it sucked. But a bit of a disclosure, he was able to get the Qute Jr. endorsement from me. I saved it, and I was happy to oblige. You would let us to this as well? Yes, I would. I became acquainted with a few of them and gained a few cool friends on the way.
People are still suffering from even hinting that they were supportive of any bit of that to this day, and continue to be blacklisted from things because of it.
But I'll be able to watch. I got a piece of footage for his doc. I wish to be done after this.
He said he was done discussing this after the video.
I don't blame him, but they really don't like me now. That's a good thing.
They have good reason to not like me for calling them out, but they deserve to be. It's interesting, right? Now, I'm not saying they're lying, and their screenshots of Awesome Channel's responses make me believe there's some truth. But the document wasn't fact-checked. Basically, finding out whether something is true before saying it isn't a priority to them.
I'm glad you and Vitriol are putting your differences aside on this. Are they doing that? The document definitely wasn't fact-checked. Amendments had to be made after it went up. Vitriol would never have checked it beforehand.
Mariner! I said Elisa Maven of the Everglade passed out on the set of Suburban Nights while she was taped up against the wall for an awfully long time.
Well, Miral didn't check with Alicia. It's the first time she'd heard of it. She also clarified she didn't pass out. She got dizzy and untaped herself from the wall. Don't know what kind of kink led to them thinking it was a good idea.
She was also upset at the time because people used it as an excuse to attack time and space, but not check with her as she was okay. I did amend it on the document, but it does go to show how careless and inconsiderate she's been about information and other people.
The main thrust and evidence of the document is true regardless. Too much of it corroborates with each other to not be true. As far as for saying so much petty, meaningless crap is in there, it's not petty. It's part of evidence to get a full picture. Yes, absolutely. But the plain and simple fact is that they are little more than useful idiots who got suckered into a fraud.
Regardless of Vitriol and the others, I don't know who's wrong or who's right, and frankly, I don't care. If I had to guess, I'd think no one's absolutely right or wrong in this case, but everyone involved are genuinely good people. Shadow dancers, too. It's failure to communicate. No more, no less.
I think these people do really want an apology or closure, and the offer's still on the table, but the CV drama is distracting from that.
Right now, the best solution would be for Awesome Channel, Martial Sportiest, and Vitriol to go the Metallica route and do a massive group therapy together. What a bunch of dopes they all are. High school melodrama never ends. Vitriol to me is too sensitive and juvenile to care about.
Can someone make an edited version of the video so I don't need to watch the whole thing? I'm not forcing you or anyone, so you don't have to do it. Also, it is true that he wrote a book about his divorce and how he became triumphant afterward. You might have seen it, but I've put a list up. But he wrote about his divorce, and that's odd considering he's an omnipresent alien Cillian being who doesn't need to have papers or officially be married. Why is this suddenly not about critical vitriol? He's still quick to coddle Miral and his followers to help her cheer up, and she gets her feelings hurt. When Miral goes after families and defends people who cheer on dead cats, it's crickets. I tried doing that thing where I post stuff like when ex-contributors are against harassment, which is meaningless now. Sorry, you can either be against harassment or you can be a Miral supporter. You can't be both.
Oh, what? Who's picking a side? Please tell me we're not picking sides. It's a weird enough argument. It's bad enough Qute Jr. has us here.
It seems Qute Jr. is manipulating us using COL mind control techniques. What are we even on about? The same goes for Filet, who was quick to attack Shadow Dancer and call his family liars, but when Miral makes even worse claims, with literally zero evidence, the response is crickets. I'm watching only now the thumbnail, and it's hilarious. The thumbnail looks like it came straight from a rap album, like, yo, this crap is getting real, man.
It is ridiculous.
Oh, I hope that one girl gets raped.
You're a snake.
I watched some of it, but I need some more time when I'm not worn out by watching red letter media stuff. Cursory evidence indicates he's blowing this out of proportion for some reason, either fame or fortune.
That does raise a lot of concerns for what got blown out of proportion. But he got the Qute Jr. endorsement. I saved it, is happy to oblige. Maybe for you, simply put, my problem with this is it jumps back to way before TMS.
I became acquainted with a few of them and gained a few cool friends on the back of it. That's why the part about the document floored me. People are still suffering for even hinting that they had supported any bit of it to this day, and continue to be blacklisted for things from it. Oh, for crying out loud, again!
The bastards were picking on me for father taking his life.
Aye, and for my dead cat. They were cyberbullying and picking on reporters.
All this does is promote more TMS misinformation and more targeted harassment from TMS. Please remove it.
Awesome Channel doesn't have it pinned. There's no reason it should be.
Remove it. It's been proven the document has lies in it already.
Agreed. Which was seen as a noble cause, having a pinned thread on it was great. But this last has changed due to the recent actions of those still in the movement. I apologize for the length of the following reply.
This video from Critical Vitriol explains why I have a problem with TMS from the beginning.
They were too joyous in the pain of others.
They behaved like a bunch of middle school kids dogpiling on someone they used to hang out with, and then they got a bunch of supporters to egg them on. It drew me back to being an elementary and middle school student, having everyone make fun of me.
Oh, he's so stupid. Look, you can't do anything right. In this situation, literally anything this person does will be wrong. TMS people acted the same way toward the Fillets. I didn't even like the Fillets. Most of all out of the Martial Sportiest producers. I liked Shadow Dancer, Phaelus, and Miral the most. Why, thank you, Jeremy Aster. You're so stupid. I take it we all knew what happened before. I watched Miral maybe the most, and sided with her during the Spuny controversy. I think Time and Space sided with her in that incident too. Yeah, it's deja vu. Anyway, fast forward a couple of years and Miral is acting like she was horribly abused by Time and Space when she wasn't. Time and Space may have been insensitive to her, but nothing materially bad ever happened to her directly at Martial Sportiest. I would have more ad rolls. No. Then he backed down. That was pretty much it. I find this repeating annoying, and wish to throttle who is doing it, and I will. And after that, though, it won't be long before Miral will make it clear she didn't want to be on that site anymore.
I didn't, and I don't know why we're still stuck here.
She didn't even post anything there for like a month. I know, because I checked Martial Sportiest each day, and didn't see her on there, but her videos did appear on Phaelus. Okay, fine. Oh. I am not keen to repeat things others or I have said. What is happening? The aliens? So, Martial Sportiest kicked Miral off, and then she acted like it was an injustice?
If the aliens messing with us aren't using this to possess us with creatures, what are they doing? Can we break the cycle and smash our way out? I have laid out a document stating our grievances and gripes.
This was years ago, though. So outraged people get involved and start demanding that Martial Sportiest and Awesome Channel be destroyed. Now everyone's piling up on the fillets, treating the situation like some kids ganging up on a former friend because it's fun. They pick apart everything the fillets do because it's easy, when all the while there were only maybe 3 maternally bad things the Martial Sportiest and Awesome Channel small business did over the years. The non-complete contract they made Miral sign, for instance. The other 2 also involved Molly, because she was their actual employee, and they had a responsibility to her. Okay, fine. Now, when the controversy was going down, I thought Time and Space should just apologize for not doing a good enough job for everyone.
Sure, they didn't please everyone enough and pushed folks too hard while making too boldly flee.
I understand, but all you wanted was an apology.
And we've been over this. I'm not even sure what part I'm playing anymore. Is that the plan? Pick on us till we break? Till our minds snap from insanity? Well, screw you guys. I'm getting out of here.
Fine, apologize. I'm guessing Time and Space didn't apologize for legal reasons, or because the situation was being blown so out of proportion it pissed them off. Either way, I can't say I'm angry at them. I mean, think about it. Time and Space at its peak had 100 contributors, and all of them would send their questions and complaints to one person, Mike Metador. He isn't here. But here we are. Time and Space made some mistakes and should have apologized, but didn't. Why?
Because the TMS crowd are a bunch of jerks who act like they're kids having fun, attacking someone, making their stupid high school clique drama be a public spectacle.
Yes, they turned out to be a bunch of a-holes, as Mr. Vitriol demonstrates.
So, an opportunity to have a legit discussion with both sides, something the TMS folks preached is what they wanted, get slapped down by the guy who was the most irrelevant to the time and space drama.
Qute Jr. can go frack himself. How dare you repeat that?
Yep, Qute Jr. got in the way of a potential discussion between Time and Space, Martial Sportiest, and Awesome Channel, even after previously explicitly stating that he wanted the discussion.
I criticized Vitriol's lack of professionalism. It was warranted. I added the drama that makes this jaunting back to earlier events annoying, even for me. I don't know if you buy it, which is hilarious given how you speak to people that you don't like.
This is also the same guy that took a day off work because Vitriol's documentary made him so emotional that he lost sleep over it and had to call in sick.
But here we are. Time and Space made some mistakes and should have apologized, but didn't. Why?
Because the TMS crowd are a bunch of jerks who act like they're kids having fun, attacking someone, making their stupid high school clique drama be a public spectacle.
Yes, they turned out to be a bunch of a-holes, as Mr. Vitriol demonstrates.
So, an opportunity to have a legit discussion with both sides, something the TMS folks preached is what they wanted, get slapped down by the guy who was the most irrelevant to the time and space drama.
Qute Jr. can go frack himself. How dare you repeat that?
Yep, Qute Jr. got in the way of a potential discussion between Time and Space, Martial Sportiest, and Awesome Channel, even after previously explicitly stating that he wanted the discussion.
I criticized Vitriol's lack of professionalism. It was warranted. I added the drama that makes this jaunting back to earlier events annoying, even for me. I don't know if you buy it, which is hilarious given how you speak to people that you don't like.
This is also the same guy that took a day off work because Vitriol's documentary made him so emotional that he lost sleep over it and had to call in sick.
I think the biggest disappointment here is Miral's horrible behavior. Hold on, this was so hard to hear, because I do like her charm content. And she seems like the kind of person you just want to chill and joke with. But of course, looks can be deceiving. I didn't follow her, so I had no idea what she was like. Just seeing those 2 tweets, wow.
I get that she's upset about her time with Time and Space. But that was over 6 years ago. It's true, she needs to move on.
I don't understand the Shadow Dancer controversy, but still, she needs to move on and focus on her own stuff.
She has the potential to make great things, but she's shooting herself in the foot, acting like a self-important, selfish brat.
As a person who used to defend her on here, I understand the disappointment. The worst part is, if you said what you said in the second part of that video, she and her followers would rip your head off about it.
I will do it soon, when you least expect it.
The irony is that in her TMS video, she said that she stopped talking about it for a long time because it was making her bitter, and she didn't like the person she was becoming.
So she's once again become the person she didn't like.
All these people, Vitriol included, are the cattiest, most persnickety, sensitive bunch of folks I've ever seen.
We're somewhere new.
Maybe this program is running its course. The dialogue will remain the same, and we will follow as though we were back in the hall earlier. It's going to repeat and get bigger until we're broken.
Yeah, that's a big takeaway from this. I found myself considering everyone here immensely irrational, immature, and unlikable. Crappy people who should just collectively move on with their lives.
I can only imagine the bullying of the TMS crew in response.
However, like critical vitriol, I no longer pay any attention to those people, except maybe when they're mentioned here. The best part is Qute Jr.'s wife is now begging people to flag the video. She has no issues with Vitriol giving time and space the treatment, though.
I just have the following to say. Everyone needs to move on. Take a break from social media. Qute Jr., Miral, Vitriol. Everyone that still talks about TMS, check into therapy. Although it seems like Vitriol has done that. And leave. I can't believe I supported those guys. I suggest everyone watch the full video.
Here's a small snippet of information.
I was difficult to work with. Shadow Dancer's friend initiated contact with Vitriol to try and get time and space, Martial Sportiest, and Awesome Channel together. Most contributors that Vitriol spoke to agreed to the meeting. The only one that had an issue was Qute Jr. by ending his friendship. Even though he wanted a group chat with time and space and TMS. Something in the dialogue is a clue to break this. Vitriol proved the positive friendship with Qute Jr., which ruined their argument that Vitriol thought they were friends due to a retweet. Yes, the program is selected. Wants us to repeat a planned scenario, maybe to improve it. When this was out, Miral and TMS supporters did everything they could to avoid addressing it.
When did Qute Jr. turn on me?
Molly and the others didn't know when Qute Jr. turned on Aster. CV was criticized by TMS for telling dark jokes, even though I got suspended for telling a death threat as a joke, and never said sorry for it, or admitted any fault.
Vitriol wasn't allowed to talk about how Qute Jr. mistreated him and his followers, but they can talk about their mistreatment at Awesome Channel.
Molly said that critical Vitriol didn't have much contact with the ex-contributors, which turned out to be false. Wait a minute. How is it false? Did she lie? Is that all this is? Surely the alien program that has us knows how to lie. I don't think that's it. I think it's lonely.
Lonely? Are you serious? Molly also told Aster that she didn't really know Qute Jr., but also said only she spoke to him during his time at Awesome Channel. I exaggerated. It wasn't a lie, it was an omission. The document wasn't fact-checked, regardless of the stories were true or not. They were not fact-checked.
So, did they beam us into their imagination deck without us knowing it? TMS criticized Laura Talisman for saying TMS and their issues don't matter, whilst they said what happened to CV wasn't important, and tried to get their followers to downplay it.
I had no care for CV's mental health when he was getting unnecessarily attacked and was hypercritical. You were mean, such as publicly tweeting that you were distancing yourself from people like Vitriol and immediately jumping into arguments with others and then blocking them. But I did defend Aster. Everyone that defended Aster was accused of being an alt, even though, after proof was provided, and would rather block people than accept that they had any sort of a different opinion.
But you let Mike-Filet's death cloud you. Time and Space gets crap for knowing about Mike-Filet and not telling anyone. But Molly also knew about Mike-Filet and got a free pass. The ex-contributors and their friends messaged Vitriol after the document praising him for his efforts and wanted him to do more. Then they were uncomfortable with his involvement after his exile. Oh, I got exiled for trying to do something unthinkable.
Vitriol posted a tweet about his suicidal thoughts the day after his big argument with me, Qute Jr. and Miral, and after their followers dogpiled on him.
Vitriol criticized how Miral distanced herself from him for going public about Qute Jr., whilst spreading rumors about Shadow Dancer and being quite vocal about him, and time and space when it isn't necessary.
It does explain how Shadow Dancer told the truth about the swatting claims.
Yeah, her Twitter response is amazing. Didn't respond to the claims with evidence that CV showed. Instead, responded with insults and begged her followers to flag the video. They hated my jokes, so I blocked all of them. The desperate attempts to justify his edgy humor were pretty annoying. I'm not offended, just dumbfounded, that anyone would think that anything that lazy was actually funny in the first place. I can see why he's irritated about the whole situation, but it really does seem that he should have dropped it a long time ago. It's a bunch of bullshit melodrama from everyone, but he's barely any better by continuing to feed it so much. Yeah, the doubling down on his crappy jokes made me not want to continue, just because it's so hackneyed. And it is cowardly to say stuff like that and turn off comments so people don't come down on you. As I said in the video, it's all about context. What is the intent in using the F word to describe gay people?
Well, there was a huge difference between using the F word as a joke and using it as an insult. He never said using the F word was okay because he had gay friends.
But he was accused of being homophobic, which is absurd, because he has gay friends. It's so because other people claim they would never insult their friends. When they would. They surely would. CV has no friends, especially not gay ones, I'd bet. You don't have to like my jokes. In fact, you don't have to like anyone's jokes. But you can't tell me what jokes I can or can't make. As for the comments being turned off, it wasn't because he was above it. But the issues he's had with Qute Jr. for years now, the issues he's had with Molly and Miral and the other followers, after the fallout, has weighed heavily on his head and has severely affected him mentally. I'm only 43 minutes in, and most of it is CV justifying his right to tell lame jokes by adding clips of funnier comedians being edgy. For frack's sake, he uses a Tom MacDonald song to justify why he shouldn't have to say he's sorry for making rape jokes and saying homo in videos.
This from the guy made an hour-plus video saying Time and Space owes everyone an apology for trying to run a business.
I watched some of it, but I need some more time when I'm not worn out by red letter media stuff to watch it. What is he on about? Guess he doesn't like my Star Wars videos. Hack fraud. Some pointers I read. One big takeaway I got from it was that the document wasn't fact-checked.
Does raise a lot of concerns about what else could have been blown out of proportion.
People are still suffering for even hinting that they were supportive of any of that, and continue to be blacklisted from the things because of it. And I helped him get one of the pieces of footage that led us here. And if this is an Imagine deck, it's the whole station, which would mean we're blocked too, inside it. We could be in a smaller place than it looks. You know Imagine decks.
He said he was done discussing this after the video. I don't blame him, but they really don't like me now. That's a good thing.
They have good reason to not like me. Now, I'm not saying they're lying particularly, as Awesome Channel's responses make me believe there's some truth.
They had good reason to not like me for calling them out, because they deserved it.
It's interesting, right? Now, I'm not saying they were lying, but the document wasn't fact-checked. Basically, finding out whether something is true before saying it isn't a priority to them.
I'm glad you and Vitriol are putting your differences aside on this. It's like when Loki and Thor teamed up in that Marvel movie.
The room has rearranged itself. What if the whole station is rigged for the Imagine deck? It is Bright House Class 1. That means we're anywhere.
Scanning out is solid where we are. Unless the scanner can be full.
The main thrust and essence are true regardless. They certainly owe it to be more diligent, but probably thought they were. I'm supposed to be all-knowing. I should know if the station is a vast Imagine deck. Too much of it corroborates with each other to not be true. And as for saying so much petty, meaningless crap is in there, it's not petty. It's part of evidence and context to give a full picture.
Suppose the unknown wife of Shadow Dancer is the key. We assumed I was called Angel, but my name is Laura here.
You and your woke left-wing ideas and your women folk in charge, huh?
Just because there's a focus on more than one female character doesn't make it automatically feminist or woke. And if you feel that way, you clearly aren't very secure in yourself.
Regarding Vitriol and the others, I don't know who's wrong or right. Frankly, I don't care. If I had to guess, I'd think no one is right or wrong in this case, but everyone involved are genuinely good people.
It's a failure to communicate, no more, no less. I think these people do genuinely want an apology or closure, and that offer's still on the table. But the vitriol drama is distracting them from that. Vitriol, to me, is too sensitive and juvenile to care about.
I'm not forcing you or anyone to do this, so you don't have to. The system's crashing for some reason.
The parasitic life form readings have all vanished. They're all dead.
Well done, everyone. You've passed. Passed what, Captain Talisman? Hey, no fair using your salient powers to ask mine. I'd like to know how you did that. Sometime. I am Michael Fillet. The realm revived me after I died. Joey didn't say anything, because she knew I'd be back. Laura is indeed the name of my wife, not Angelica. The Cillians were confused all this time. We never corrected them. She was Angel's friend, though. As for the cat, he regenerated. You are free to return to your ship.
How did you do it? Why repeat the events of the Awesome Channel blog to trick us?
Well, lassie, it wasn't to trick you. It was to trick the Blue Gills. Aha! They were a collective. They were utterly confused by randomness. The Reddit program was station-wide, and it killed them. The ones on the station are dead. Signal your ship and tell them we're a little adventure. Aster to Chimera, we're back.
How did we get here? And why is there a giant Ferengi thought maker behind us?
I pulled you out of your little vacation to participate. Oh, okay. Well, we're not supposed to be here until they go look for that planet with the Galaxy-class ship on it. I summoned you, Everson and Matthews, a little too early. Sorry about that. Oh, ha. Psst. They're just gone.
Would someone mind explaining what the devil's going on in the station? We spent what seemed like days talking about what was on the station. We're here too. We can explain. You two better. But where you've been, I'll save the lecture for your mother. And what is that?
Why, that's Vitriol, and this is Gay Kitty, my cat. He regenerated. Hi. Kitty? Kitty?
An infant Compesian power cat. A really big one.
Well, he kind of overate eating the bad guys, apparently. Blah. I was under the influence of the alien ray. I wouldn't have said that stuff, you know. Huh. Sure you wouldn't.
Rutherford, turn that thing off. It's giving me a headache.
Well, I'll figure it out eventually.
Tendi, do you have anything to say? You know, this was loosely based on the Awesome Channel scandal, which was made redundant in late 2021.
Oh, do tell. Shadow Dancer, who's an amalgamation of their leaders. In real life, they went on the internet and onto a blog channel and apologized. He went on the internet on a blog channel and apologized to the internet.
I refuse to think this was for no reason, but I've seen that video.
Ugh.